Since the internet was more popular in the early 90s, you know about that you can search everything on the internet. If you want to know about the famous writer, you search on the internet. You want to watch pornography, you search on the internet. But some people search internet for something that more macabre and disturbing. Welcome to r/MorbidReality, a subreddit for human suffering and death. This is Ireland. It is a country in Western Europe, and throughout the century, it was ruled by the British Empire. In 1921, after the end of the Irish Civil War, there was a partition between the two countries. One was the Republic of Ireland, which had a Catholic majority and was an independent country. In contrast, Northern Ireland, which had a Protestant majority, was a part of the United Kingdom, but they have a problem that there was a Catholic minority living in there. In the late 1960s, a Catholic minority in Northern Ireland began civil rights marches to protest against the discrimination of the Catholic by a Protestant majority, which led to a violent crackdown by police officers, and that violent crackdown led to an quote organized militant group. For the Catholic minority, they have a Provisional Irish Republican Army, or the IRA, which was supported by the Libyan government and the Irish criminal organization that was based in Boston, Montreal, and New York. The Protestant majority had an Ulster Defense Association, or the UDA, which was supported by local people and was designated as a terrorist organization by the Washington and London government. This tit-for-tat violence led to the British Army and the MI5 being sent to Northern Ireland, and this conflict continued until the 1990s. That 1990s referred to the end of the Cold War. In the late 90s, Tony Blair, the then Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, wants the two militant groups, the IRA and the Ulster paramilitary, to make a ceasefire and doing a Good Friday Agreement. But one tragedy happening in the town of Omagh.
A high-profile Irish Republican has been charged with murdering 29 people in the Omagh Bombing. The 1998 attack was the bloodiest in decades of violence in Northern Ireland. Seamus Daly from County Monaghan also faces 2 charges in relation to a car bombing in Lisburn.
And the image that you're looking at is one of the most eerie that I was found. This infamous photo was showing a man and a child standing outside the red Vauxhall caliber before it was exploded, killing 29 and injuring 200 more. But however, the child and the father was survived. But who did that? Well, it was the real IRA, a Provisional Irish Republican Army splinter group that opposed the Provost ceasefire and the Good Friday Agreement signed earlier in this year. This is Kylie Smith. She was a young teenage girl from a small town in Omagh in the New Zealand region of Otago. Kylie was developing into a promising young equestrian. She shone at the Kathleen Area School, where her mother, Dawn, taught, and was the apple of her father's eyes, plumber, well and sweet. Tall, blonde, and with blue eyes, she was easily identifiable on her black mouth neck as she rode out of town most days wearing her signature black and yellow Baltimore pony cap, hat, and oilskin raincoat. Kylie was popular among her schoolmates, with a broad smile and infectious personality. She was also class captain and on the school council, academically gifted. She was also an accomplished netballer and swimmer and had planned to become a veterinarian, but her dream did not exist because she was murdered on November 1st, 1991. Kylie Smith left Burn Street on her horse neck and then walked on Wakava Road. At one point, a man named Paul Bailey, who was a sex offender who raped numerous women, drove past Kylie and parked. When she came past, he pointed a gun at her and she dismounted her horses and get into the back seat. He traveled to the Nugget Point Lighthouse. Several kilometers before the lighthouse, he collided head-on with a car driven by 2 American tourists, and he forced Kylie to walk down on the beach at Nugget Point Lighthouse before raping her and shooting her 3 times in the head. Kylie's body was found on the following day. The police visited the pastor, who had been out searching, to tell him they believe Bailey had abducted and murdered Kylie. Officers had searched Bailey's houses, noticed effort to fake his car, and taken him to Balcuta police station for questioning. They wanted the pastor to talk to Bailey to find out where Kylie was. Shocked, he could not comprehend what they were saying. I just didn't think he could kill someone. The pastor agreed to help the police and talk with Bailey alone in his cell for several hours, repeatedly as if he had murdered Kylie. Eventually, after being told her body had been found, Bailey hung his head and said, "Yes, I did. I killed her." This thing that he confessed shocks the police, and even not only shocks the police, it was shocks New Zealand too. And on February 7, 1992, Bailey finally pled guilty in court to raping and murdering Kylie. He was jailed for life with a minimum non-parole period of 10 years for the murder and 13 years for the rape, but because the case never went to trial, the community did not get the chance to hear the fact of how Bailey came to be in Okwana, or the truth behind her murder. He tried to parole himself in 2001, but it failed. Sensible Sentencing Trust spokesman Gareth McGuire said, "Bailey had a choice, and it's up to New Zealand now to ensure we look after our community, our women and children, and that he never get out again." The 1,000-yard stare is a phrase often used to describe the blank, unfocused gaze of people experiencing desolation due to acute stress or traumatic event. It was initially used about war combatants and the post-traumatic stress they exhibit, but is now also used to refer to an unfocused gaze observed in people under stressful situations or in people with certain mental health conditions. This is a photo of a 27-year-old Italian soldier, Corporal Antonio Meracchio, of the 3rd Eagle Company 66 Regiment Aircraft Derrite. This photo was taken by an Italian photographer, Marchi Galabetti, and his eye was content after a 72-hour combat in Barak Mughreb, Afghanistan. This is Rosary Shelfo, and on March 8, 1953, she carefully bathed her 2-week-old baby, then let the infant face down on her kitchen cutting board and hack off his head with a butcher's knife. She told her husband, "I don't know why I did it. I just did it." After that, the police arrested her for murder, but she didn't go to death row, but she went to a mental hospital in Camarillo, California. And to this day, many people don't know why she killed her 2-week-old baby in cold blood. If I show this picture to normal people, many people say this is a picture of a church somewhere in Eastern Europe like Russia, Ukraine, or even Scandinavian country like Sweden or Finland. But it is not. This picture was a picture of a Leipzig prison in the former German Democratic Republic. And from 1960 to 1978, the infamous secret police, the Stasi, used this room to execute criminals, Nazis, dissidents, and spies. In this soundproof room, they were taken into this room and shot them in the back of the head. After their execution, they were buried in unmarked graves. Most of them have been entirely forgotten by history. Thank you for watching of this my first r/morbid reality. If you like this video, please like, please share, and please subscribe to the new Om 24. And thank you for watching.